first impressions of Medellin, Colombia. I am impressed. So these are my first impressions, but I just want to say I am impressed. These, of course, are my opinions, my point of view, my experience. To start, I am literally a block over from Avenida 70, which is a major street, would be very similar to St. Mark's Place in New York City. To give some point of reference, for me, being a city girl, it is perfect. I can walk out and get to pretty much anything I want, whether it's walk out and get to pretty much anything I want, whether it's coffee, something to eat, like any other city. Love that. Love that about Medellin. It is actually pretty clean considering. Now, 70 does get very busy, and as a result of that, it does get dirty. The next morning, they're like sweeping up the streets. So I can appreciate that, not perfectly. It's just so busy, like it would be like 42nd Street or 34th Street, St. Mark's Place. It's so busy that it's not perfectly clean. I'm a city girl. I'm not expecting pristine, clean streets in that situation, on that type of a street. Let's start. My goodness, there are a lot of motorcycles. A lot of motorcycles. If you're not into motorcycles, you probably can appreciate it. But from my point of view, since I'm a motorcyclist or motorcycle enthusiast on top of it, I'm jealous. I mean, there are beautiful bikes everywhere, from BMW, Chinese brands, some of the Indian brands, Yamaha, Honda, and apparently they've got it at a slightly lower cost than in the States. In the States, you can't find a bike for less than $5,000. Beautiful, beautiful bikes everywhere. So you're gonna notice a lot of motorcycles on the street, a lot of motorcycles on the street. There are a lot of hot dog stands. They call them perritos, which literally translates to hot dog, a small dog. I like hot dogs. I don't eat them often, but I do like hot dogs. But I would say every time I go to Central America or South America or some Latin country, they're not the hot dogs that we have in the United States. I don't like them. But they have their own take on them. Put a lot of different things on them. They put these little like potato sticks and cheese and pico de gallo and caramelized onions. I mean, bacon, not yummy to me. The quality of the hot dog is kind of on the mushy side, and it needs more salt, and just the whole flavor of it is nothing like an American hot dog. By all means, go for it, but my recommendation is stay away from it. They're not yummy. If you know what a good hot dog tastes like in America, you're not gonna like these hot dogs. There are a lot of hamburger places too. They got every kind of hamburger you can think of. I mean, every combination of hamburgers. They've got vegetarian hamburgers, they've got chicken hamburgers, they've got hamburgers, they've got hamburgers with mozzarella inside the hamburger, oozing out when you bite into it. I mean, they've got hamburgers.
They've got a lot of hamburgers.
And price-wise, they can be from $18,000, which is somewhere around $3.50, to $38,000, which would be more like $8. But it does include French fries. That would be sort of a fancy hamburger. But let me tell you, there are a lot of hamburger places. Did I say that? A lot. I mean, hamburguesa this, hamburguesa that, hamburguesas everywhere. I love hamburgers. I don't eat them so much anymore because of health reasons. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm trying to eat healthy. There is a wide variety of food. My experience so far has been, I'm not that fond of the local food, and I probably just haven't gone to the right place, but it's very meaty. So since I'm not really engaging in fried foods, a lot of meat, I'm certainly not a big sausage person, but they give you like chicharron, a sausage is salchicha. They give you either steak or chicken, and they give you like arepa, and they give you some rice, and they might have rice and potato and an avocado and soup. That's like their more traditional meal. A taxi, the little yellow cabs, they're very cheap. They either start somewhere between $4,300 per whatever distance, because you don't know what the distance is, but whatever distance, it starts at that, and it increases, of course. It's metered, by the way. It's metered. Taxis are metered. And I think the highest I got in a cab was $5,300, which is $5,300. I don't think I got in a cab on a 20-minute ride. Cost me more than 10,000 Colombian pesos, which would be $2.50, maybe $3. Exchange rate makes a difference in deciding how much you're actually paying. Now, the thing about Uber is it's not actually legal, so you do a little bit of a configuring. Configuring that you would need to do is to sit in the front seat. If there's, not two people, there's just one person, you sit in the front seat, and that worked out perfectly fine. I walked just about everywhere. I think most of the places I've walked thus far have been about a half hour away. I love to walk anyway. I'm a walker. I don't need, I'm not that luxurious or that fancy or that fabulous that I need to take a cab everywhere. You know what I mean? Anyway, I took the metro. Let's talk about the metro. I loved the metro. It's very, very clean because you can't bring food or drink on there. I mean, I literally walked in, I was just finishing my little thing out to munch on. The lady walked up to me, she's like, you can't have food in here. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm okay.
It's a coffee shop chain. I'm here with my host for the Airbnb. I'm gonna go upstairs.
So I'm sort of not a coffee drinker anymore, not by choice, because my stomach was like, girl, no coffee, no caffeine, no mas, no more. But I have been drinking coffee. Very good coffee here. Very good coffee. The best coffees are the warm ones, as in hot coffee drinks like cappuccino, latte, americano, caliente, hot. And I think cost-wise, somewhere between $1.20 and $1.50. $1.75 would be on the high end, and that would be like a fancy thing. Fancy coffee, fancy. Iced coffees are a little bit more complicated. They don't always have iced coffee cups, which means a plastic cup. They'll put it in a paper cup, but not even a good paper cup. So like while you're drinking it, you can feel the cup like disintegrating in your hand. Seriously, they're like falling apart in your hand. Like if you were to have that coffee for hours, it would degrade the cup that they put it in because it's not meant for something cold. It's just not. There are a few places that will give you a plastic cup, and out of those places, they don't give you a top, as in they don't give you a lid. They'll give you the iced coffee with no lid. And my experience has been spillage. I have spilled my coffee. I think I know I've got coffee on myself because there's no lid. Drink it fast. Or drink it in the cafe. They have a lot of cafes. One thing I will say though, there are small ones that offer food, a lot of panaderia, which is pastries, variety of pastries that you can eat, and other foods. They do a pretty good job of giving you many choices of foods at the cafes. They come big, they come small, they come fancy, come not. I've not been to any cafe that I can actually say I didn't want to sit in, didn't enjoy sitting in, had a bad experience. I went to one place when I first arrived where I had the worst coffee that I've ever had in my entire life. Part of a breakfast, which by the way was the worst breakfast I ever had in my entire life. Coffee I could clearly see was watered down. I saw her making coffee for someone else and she put a little espresso, a little milk, and then she watered it down with hot water. It was the worst coffee I've ever had. And I've had a lot of coffee, trust me. I am a coffee drinker. Colombian coffee's a thing. Did you know Colombian coffee's a thing? Colombian coffee's a thing too. Since it's a